Hi guys, Rex is here, and in today's video I am going to be explaining the top 10 ways you can become a better player in War Robots. So the first way is using cover as an advantage. So like shooting, say if you have weapons on the side like I do here, you can put your body behind cover and shoot one weapon at the side and the enemy cannot hit you. One thing I did here, which I probably shouldn't have done, is I jumped up to try to get across, but just never show yourself like I did here by accident, because everybody will start shooting here, I get locked down, and everyone just like going on me. So that's like a tip as well. So I jump into the Mercury here, which is my newest robot, probably the best robot I've got. Try to do the same thing. Not trying to show myself to the enemy, but like trying to get it. Basically, I'm getting the enemy to try to not see me, but I want to see them and shoot them. So I'm supposed to catch them off guard without them knowing. Now I can lock them down because I got one of the lockdown weapons, like I do here. See, I corner shoot him. He hit me a tiny bit, but I locked him down. And then my teammates as well can hit him. Somehow someone hit me with a vortex and then somebody else killed me. That vortex did a lot of damage. So jumping into my Natasha with Avenger and Punisher. Really good build. Loads of damage. The DPS is really good. So yeah, basically I'll just be quiet and let you see the rest of this, and I'll tell you when the next tip is coming. So the next tip is never ever just stay back and do like nothing. Always keep going forward a bit and helping your teammates, like I'm doing my Zeus Fury. I have a 600-meter range, which is really good, but I'm still going forward and basically doing like one-on-one combat because it's so powerful. Just don't stay back, because if you stay back, you're not really helping your teammates, you're not capturing any beacons, and you're not really doing a lot of damage at all. So even with your long range robots, like maybe pins, Tulumbas, Candays, anything with a like 500 plus meter range, if it's got 1,000 plus meter range, yeah, I'll accept that you stay back because obviously you would. But if it has an under 1,000 meter range, just make sure you go in front, you go near the enemies, and you just try and do damage to them and capture beacons.
It was worth the try. At least it was worth the try. At least it was worth the try.
The next tip is don't play too aggressive. If you play too aggressive, you will get just shot down by all the enemies at once. So instead of basically, if you go with your team, there's more than just one enemy to shoot at. But if you don't go with your team and you just rush yourself, all the enemy team will focus you and you will obviously die instantly. So make sure you're sticking with your team, you're not playing too aggressive and not too defensive. So the next tip is the right variety of weapons. So don't put like all your weapons at don't have loads of short range weapons. Have a variety. So some 300 meter range, some 500, and like some 800. Because say you're in a long range map like here, you need something long range to go across the map. And if you're on a short range map, you don't really need a really long range robot because you're going to be short range and everyone's just going to come really close to you and use their short ranged weapons to kill you. And normally the longer range weapons shoot slower and do less DPS. So just make sure you have a variety of weapons. The next tip is the right class of weapons. So I see people all the time with different kind of weapons on, say a ballistic weapon that shoots really slow, a plasma weapon that shoots really fast, or just a different kind of weapon. Make sure your weapons are in the same category. Like you might have seen my Avenger and Punisher, Natasha, that I showed in the first clip. they see how they fired at the exact same time and the same kind of weapons. So that's sort of the thing you need to do. And like, say you have multiple weapons, just make sure they are the same class, like Calamity and Scourge, like them two things. So just make sure they're the right class of weapons, and you will do a lot better against your enemy. The next tip is workshop points. So you may see I have about 3 million silver, and so I can basically put anything in the workshop I want to get, which is like very expensive. But if say you're a lower person and you're like lower down and you don't have a lot of silver, like maybe getting something that's 100,000 silver to get in the workshop instead of something that's maybe 290,000, because every day you have to refill it. So, and if you don't play that much as well, do a lower one like I do on my computer. I don't play as much, so I get a 100,000 one. So whenever I do play, I don't have to spend as much on the workshop. So make sure, just look how much silver you have, and make sure you will have enough to maybe fund a week or so. The next tip is gold. So basically, when you're spending gold, you never want to buy something that's too expensive or you're not going to use. So say there's a weapon you want and it's around 2,000, 2,500 gold, and you know that you are going to use it and put it on a set of your weapons or on your robot and you're always going to use it, definitely recommend you get it. But if you say maybe like you might use it a bit and then not use it after, don't buy it, because it just takes ages to get gold, and little upgrades that are maybe less than 100 gold, they're fine. Anything over, like maybe, like you might have just seen I went on one for 140 gold, I didn't get that, because that's just too expensive just for an upgrade. But yeah, if you have loads of gold and you want to do an upgrade that's 300 gold, and you really need to get it then, if you want to, you can do it. But yeah, just make sure you don't spend all your gold at once. The next tip is when to attack and defend. So when to rush and when to maybe walk back a bit. So I'm in a Rhino currently, pushing straight forward. All my team are coming at once into the middle. And then when we get there, we will stay our positions until maybe we need to go back. And if you get in, if maybe it's just you and another person and the whole other team is rushing you, like run back a bit and then get back with your teammates, because you only need to stick with your teammates. So make sure you're never rushing too much and you're not defending too much. Just make sure you're in between them two. The next tip is to play as a team. You need to be with your team, stick with your team, and help your teammates capture beacons and destroy enemies, because that's the key of the game basically. If you're a lone wolf and you don't do anything with your teammates, you're never going to win. So just make sure you just stick with your teammates and help them out, and they'll help you out as well. The last tip is offers. I left it to the last because not many people want to buy stuff in the game. But there is little offers every day that are about £1 to £2, which I get most of them because it's pretty cheap. And you get about 100 gold and maybe 1,000,000 silver, which is really, really good. That's probably a day worth of me playing for £1 basically. And I'm fine with that because I get probably £1 in a day doing things. So spend money on the £1 or £2 offers, nothing else, because they're way too expensive. Just make sure you don't spend too much money, and if you play the game free, play the game free if you want, but it's up to you. If you're gonna get them, get the £1 to £2 offers. So guys, that was the top 10 tips on how to become a better player in Warrior Bots. If you enjoyed, make sure to smash the like button, and I'll catch you next one. Bye guys.